GoDz.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.
Starladder falls! Late winner's doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down Birdie! Alone with a double kill! Dropping fast! Mana points there! He's still alive! Wait, second slide! He's got one side! He's got a second! He's taking him! They're all died on three! They're all dead!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're live for game number 2 of day number 3 of Starladder China. I'm LD, he's GoDz, and GoDz, HGT versus Magneto. That'll be our next match.
Yeah, I hadn't seen HGT in a while until yesterday, where they got themselves a pretty straightforward win against Lie Gaming, who looked kind of So another kind of opponent, but IMG. They actually no, they have not done too well. I was about to say, I think it's Speed Gaming who've done surprisingly well 2-0. IMG have kind of been a bit of a punching bag for some of these teams so far.
Well, we got a few pictures here, not too many, sadly, but of course the name that most will recognize is good old ZSMJ. And with that said, our draft is well underway. We'll go ahead and hop into it. HGT going to be on the dire side, Magneto, the Radiant, and yeah, with that said, I'll just show the standings real quickly. For those who are wondering, Magneto currently 0-2, HGT off to a nice 1-0 start. And yeah, anyway, draft has begun and was well underway, so we'll go ahead and hop on into it. HGT on the Dire, IMG on the Radiant. Yeah, let's see. First overall pick, Skyrat, the Ogre Omni, your quick reply. So they get some magic immunity to deal with Mystic Flare. Very, very nice if you don't chrono that Omni.
Yeah.
This Void Scarlet Mage combo ain't very scary.
It's that same 2 melee support duo though, so
It hasn't been very effective. The Omni picks have been, but that duo has not been.
yeah, it's okay. It's not quite the same. Melee supports that can actually zone out offlaners, which has been kind of proven. First it was No-Tail with his Elder Titan, everyone was getting beat down by him. So if you go boots first on these Ogre Magi Elder Titan supports, you can still zone out offlaners, which used to not be the case. So
the one difference is, I guess, for the Elder Titan though, he can get you from range because he can walk the spirit in and then stomp you.
Yeah.
So maybe a bit better at threatening for kills than the Ogre. Depending on the matchup, but yeah, that's definitely true. It could be a core Ogre, or even Omni. There's always that potential of getting a range support here to round things out, but Elsa just feels you're running 4 melee heroes against a Void. There are some good ways to deal with the Mystic Flare this game, but it's just asking for trouble, man. You run that many melee heroes, it's the law of melee. They're just gonna clump up. It's gonna happen. It always does.
Yeah. Quite likely.
You just know it's coming. They'll ban the Tide at least, which is certainly well advised here.
Yeah. Is Techies in CM mode? That's a good way to deal with 5 melee heroes. Why isn't Techies in CM mode?
Because then the Captain's Draft tournament couldn't sell as many tickets, dude. Valve's in cahoots with Dota Cinema.
Okay.
They're paying them off.
Techies is in CM in Dota 1,
for those
so
exclusive rights.
He should be in CM in Dota 2.
I think it's because there's still bugs with him in his Dota 2 implementation.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
I don't think it's because Ice Frog considers the hero imbalanced.
Yeah.
It's a very weird and silly hero in a lot of ways, but it's fun to watch, that's for sure.
That's one of those heroes that will never get picked except like once in the blue moon, and when it does get picked, it's always a lot of fun to see how it's played by the like in a pro game. Because even like when you see like Waga or some other pros play it on in pub games, it's very different environment to like the pro competitive techies, which I think is actually very situationally viable. I've seen Demon pull it off a few times back in Dota 1. It was
Techies can be good.
It was like a pocket strategy in some ways for certain players.
Yeah.
Demon no longer really a part of the competitive scene, unfortunately, but when Techies gets in CM, he's going to make a comeback. That's what's
Gems are more expensive now as well. A little bit more than they used to be.
The 5 melee, they say.
But you also can't just deny them like you used to be able to.
Yes.
So
you don't go 4 melee, you go 4 melee. And IMG pick up the Magnus for their offlane, so
incoming. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a Skyrath Rubik support, so they will need another core here. They could run the core Enigma Man just for more anti-melee. Just wreck IMG when they clump.
Absolutely. Yeah, put Enigma like in the offlane or something. That could be work.
Yeah.
I think this is a good game to run the safe lane Void. I was cussing America early, and Sneaky Nick Assassin played 2 games and just First pick Void, Bradham safe lane for TC both games and just crushed. Like, Void with farm is still what the hero he used to be, and it's last pick Mirana, so carry Mirana.
I never
Yuck.
I never believe in this. Sometimes it does work, but I always see it and just say,
Why not
yeah.
just get like a Weaver? Was Weaver banned? I wasn't really looking at the bans, I'm not paying attention. Maybe he was banned.
Not paying attention to old games, not paying attention to current games.
This is why I forget games and picks.
I don't actually know if it was, but I'm going to go ahead and cheat here. Check out the stream.
I feel like just like I mean
Weaver
Weaver's
was not banned.
Weaver's not exactly an exciting pick, but I feel like it's just like a heaps better version of like a Mirana in some ways, as far as like being a safe lane farmer goes. Less nuke damage, but
It is a ZSMJ Mirana, though, so if anyone can get the level of farm this hero requires to stay relevant later on in the game, probably ZSMJ the one to do it.
yeah, we can fire the arrows in the chronosphere. One of the I guess nice little synergies with this draft, but
Yeah, but like lift into arrow is just really ass. That is such an unreliable combo. Can work, but very unreliable.
yeah.
Alright guys, we're underway here. Starladder Season 11. As quickly as 10 ended, 11 has begun. And we're well into it in China, about halfway through after today. 3 out of our 7 group stage days will have been completed, and we go through our introductions here as GoDz has a little spaz attack on the keyboard.
I haven't like I played a few pub games before this, so my last game I actually played Meepo, so I feel like casting Dota, I
jumpy.
feel like I don't focus. Like I need to be doing lots of actions to focus. Like the StarCraft 2
Okay,
players.
just pretend you're controlling the heroes whenever you click on them. Alright?
Yeah, it's
There
like the
you go.
StarCraft 2 players when they're warming up and at the start of the game where they're just building workers, they're still spamming a bunch of pointless clicks just to like get in the zone, and that's what I feel like I need to do sometimes. Like,
You need to step your game up, dude. That is such loser talk.
I
It's
know.
unbelievable.
maybe-
Alright,
maybe I just need some coffee.
let's have a little intro here. Well, maybe not. IMG and HGT gonna duke it out? Okay, away we go. HGT on your dire side, Pretty Haw. The Skywrath Kaka, the Rubik, ZSMJ, your Mirana. Air gonna be playing that Storm, and it leaves Ran on the Faceless Void. As for Magneto, we've got 11 in the off lane on the Magnus, trying to summon his inner Ice. Mars C will be your Ember going mid. Y Sim, the Slark, that puts James on the Omni Knight, and in the hands of Tempest, is it? Will be playing the
yeah.
Tempest will be playing the Ogre.
So
11 really wants to secure on the high ground, but not going to happen against
Doesn't
Ram.
actually go for it. Yeah, exactly. It's not going to work against a Void anyway.
Forcing him to skill Time Walk at level 1 is nice, but it's still a safe lane Void against off lane Mag. He's still going to have a good time.
Yeah, he's going to go Time Walk plus Time Lock anyways, and he may even go Time Walk level 1 regardless. Sure, you're not going to use it really without support set to get kills, but Time Lock level 1 also isn't doing much for you.
This is not a fun lane for Magnus. In the side lane, 1v1 against a Void. You can farm with Shockwave, but you are not going to be contesting
Maybe
this
going
Void.
for a Bottle Rush, which is actually pretty good. I thought it was going to pick up Boots expecting the Trilane, but the Trilane versus Trilane action's happening at bottom, and this is where we'll find the kill.
At the same time, oh, arrow lift, not on the mark on the hero they wanted, but it will connect on James. He's skilled up the heal. He's going to go in. Offensive heal to secure the kill. He'll pay with his life, but well worth it as they look for a little bit more. Pretty Haw being pursued out. There's no leap for 10. You don't really see him going down. They do ignite, but that would have been a long way to
That
chase.
level 1 pounce has just got too long of a
But yeah, that's your Rubik Mirana duo in action. Lift toss to the right. He was expecting a straight drop down, and arrow's the wrong target, getting the Omni Knight who is at full HP. Would have been a first blood otherwise. I believe.
Probably. You saw the purification to heal him up, but like you can maybe out damage the heal.
Yeah.
It'd be close.
And the thing was, they also got like a little confused when it hit the Omni, and they're like, who do we go on here?
Yeah.
Oh, right. We can't really kill anyone. Now let's run. Oh, it's too late.
So we'll see how this tri-lane works out at bottom lane. And I think if IMG just keep playing it fairly safe defensively, ideally they want to get this pull camp online so they can deny XP and pull the wave back. But so far, no luck there. The Sentry Ward is in range of this Dire Sentry. They just don't have the vision of it. I think if you hug the tree line, you can actually see this Sentry, but...
Yeah, I think if it's like right over here, right?
Yeah, you can see it without cutting down a tree, but they have no range here, so they're going to have to cut through anyways. But
Yeah.
where are the Tengos at? They got no Tengos left on Omni. He's sad. Ogre's got no Tengos. This entire Radiant Tri-lane's used up all their regen.
They did not start. They pulled 2 to the Magnus, I believe. And he started with his own
And they
set of
pulled to
4.
the Ember Spirit. He's got at least one pulled Tengo on him, so...
Well, can they get a little pull back? The thing is, the Ember needs it. Up against the Storm, you need that early regen. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
And they're going to rotate Kaka in towards the mid lane. There's no Radiant Observer Ward in a great position for this. They will manage to jump in on Mars C, but With that poor man's shield, no way that one's going to happen. And now that they've seen the Rubik, IMG want to go back in bottom. But your triple melee tri-lane, still tough to get these jumps. They're going to try for it. They'll get the stun out. As in the meantime, your Ember ends up going down mid. Even though he saw the Rubik coming, still falls to him. They get the trade here on the Mirana, though.
The Mirana into Slack. Like, you're running Mirana as a core as well. Like, if it's a support Mirana against Slack, it's one thing, because your Mirana as a support can just throw arrows at mid lane. But
Leap is just so useless against Slark.
like, okay, Rubik's mid lane, let's go for a kill. And, oh, we can actually kill this Mirana despite there being Leap.
They're quite aggressive as a triple melee tri-lane against a Skywrath tri-lane. That's how weak.
Range.
That's how weak the Mirana Rubik duo is as a support combo.
Neely here is a good apparently in Dota.
Yeah. Where's those stout shields? They've all got magic sticks now as well, so lane got very hard very quickly.
Yep.
I'm just not digging the Rubik Mirana duo. Already the Mirana alone is a little dubious, but if you really want to run a Mirana, like, why not get something reliable to set up? You're up against an Omni, so Mirana arrow setups are just very underwhelming.
Yeah, I think
you just skip the whole Mirana concept.
The last pick Mirana and just the whole offensive trilogy, I think, was just a straight up bad idea this game. You pick a safe lane carry. Skywrath is just built for zoning out off laners at the top lane or in your safe lane. Rubik can kind of do pulls, do stacks, help out the mid lane here and there, and you had a solid draft. But instead they just mess things up a bit. Void does win this 1v1 matchup against Magnus, kind of, but they're actually even on CS right now. Magnus went for the bottle rush, and as a result, he's doing pretty well.
They're gonna make their move. They're gonna mosey on towards mid, I should say. Kaka leading the way here, leading the charges. Your Rubik. There is no Radiant Vision of this. They have that one ward, and as soon as they see this jump in, they're gonna try to go on ZSMJ. But HGT just feeling desperate. They're trialing a complete train wreck.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's 2-2. It doesn't sound that bad, but it's a train wreck because they're up against a triple melee tri-lane. And finally, they'll jump in onto Marcy mid lane. He does have the level 3 Flame Guard. Not an easy kill. He might even be able to turn on Kaka. Yeah, that's right. Get the hell out of here, you little Rubik. Can't end up getting the kill, and, well, the real kill happens bottom, where they do manage to bring down the Mirana. Jugi through the cheeses. He's got stick charges here. He's going to go back in. He doesn't use them. What a feed.
Oh, no.
Total
He would
feed.
have survived that too.
Nice heal.
He didn't even have to go back in right away. He could have waited, but
yeah, he could have either popped the stick charges or just ran away, and he chose option number 3, which is speed.
yeah. Lift back. Air. He's not
He's
level
got
6
Flame
yet,
Guard
but-
in 3 though.
Yeah. he'll be-
December, a tough kill.
TP from James though. So what is Omni going for the double degen? This is definitely not a build. This is. Let's say like this is.
He's up against 3 Leapers, Mirana, Void, and Storm.
This is just not a build. This is not. This does not exist
This
in
is
the Dota 2
this
handbook.
is a troll build in pubs.
Yeah.
This is not a build you go for in competitive as probably a 5 position Omni, honestly.
I mean, getting the one, like, often you see the 2-1-1 with the value point in degen, but yeah, like, I'm going for 2-0-2 is sure, but getting the second point in degen at level 3?
He knew he was going to get a quick level 4,
What?
okay?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a strong combo, man. Ignite into degen R. It's a right
The
click.
slow is real.
Where's the Uv at? Okay,
Yeah.
that is actually criminal. One of these two should definitely have an Uv.
Yep.
But yeah, degen R also this game. Attack speed slow is okay. There are 2 heroes that right click, but I mean, let's be honest. You get this for the move speed slow, and 3 of these heroes have leaps. So what you playing at here? In good news, this offlane Magnus is doing really damn well considering the matchup. Only down 7
Yeah.
CS, 8 denies. That is very good versus a Void. But that being said, he's in that danger area where if they bring in one hero, they can definitely kill him in Chronosphere.
Yeah, Void's at level 6. Void, he needs to itemize for getting kills like with a support rotation. Like he should just pick up some treads. I think he should have even gone for the Orb of Venom just for the harass and the laning that it gives you. But
Yeah, definitely
late
no
for him
like Midas rush this game. You need to be able to
Yeah.
set up kills for your team because
that's where
Team's
Skywrath can
not
catch
getting
up.
it done.
Yeah, that's where the supports will catch up on levels. Is getting kills with the Void Chronosphere and even getting some money out of it. So I think he wants to just pick up treads, tell Skywrath to come top, and that's a kill on your Magnus.
Well, guys, if you're just joining us, this is our second of 3 matches on the day. Coming up next will be Lie Gaming versus Vici. We'll get one more look at those teams, and well, with our game still paused, we can check out our standings now. Vici Gaming 2-1, Lie Gaming, who they'll be facing, are 0-1. These have not been updated yet with the latest results, as that last game just took place. But yeah, GoDz, things looking still okay for Vici. I guess they'd be them and LGD would be your two favorites going in, but not really by a huge margin given the way the Chinese scene has unfolded as of late.
Yeah. We'll see how things develop here, though. So
there are playoffs in China,
Yeah.
I believe. Group stage into playoffs.
Group stage into top 4 in the playoffs. So just getting into the playoffs is kind of the key thing. We saw Vici Gaming in the Summit have a pretty miserable group stage, but they got into the playoffs and then just kind of, well, they wiped the floor until the grand finals where they really got tested by LGD. So we'll see if they can. It's just the casual Vici Gaming mess around in group stage, get serious for the playoffs maybe. But we'll see how some of these other teams match up, because end of the day, just getting in the playoffs is your first step, and a team like Speed Gaming is already 2-0. They're looking like they may be a playoffs contender.
Yeah, I guess so. It sounds silly to say it, but
they've beaten the top the top teams. They beat Vici Gaming and they beat someone else who's good. CDec maybe.
Lie was it? I thought you said it was Lie earlier.
I said Lie, but there was HGT who beat Lie.
Okay, it was HGT. That's what I think that's what I said.
No, you said someone. Oh, you said they beat. I don't remember what we're talking about.
I said HGT.
You said they beat HGT, and I said they didn't beat HGT. They beat Lie.
Yeah, but now you're saying they did beat HGT, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was right.
I don't know.
You just said that's what I said.
No, HGT haven't lost though.
Okay, it wasn't HGT then.
It wasn't HGT. We were both wrong. Neither of us was right.
Because you just said it was HGT.
It was HGT who beat Lie, but we'll talk about who
beat
lost.
Lie. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. There we go. Is SMJ in a bit of trouble here? Not going to go down.
There's your current.
It's the Magnus that does, of course. CSMJ lives with like 10 health, but
supports come in, Chronosphere and Badam.
man, there's been 3 times this game where there's 2 heroes dropping low, and I have chosen the wrong lane both times. I'm a noob. Onto the SMJ, there's your leap, and there's your kill.
There's your Cormorana in action. Level 2 leap. What is this? Is also not a build. 2 arrow, 2 leap is a Cormorana?
He just wants to live in the off lane. He's not CSing. You're not farming with Starfall.
You don't live for Slack.
Take stats. Get that extra HP.
Absolutely.
More stats for him to steal. I honestly think you just abandon this lane. Maybe you just roam a bit. They can give Air the jungle. He's level 7.
Yeah. I forget your support's catching up with the Chrono kills. I think Marauder needs to go gank with the Chronosphere.
I'm so actually really surprised he's going back bottom again. Because he's just on the feed train at this point.
Yeah, it's not going well for him. He seems playing nicely on this Slack, but ZSMJ is just kind of just constantly out of position.
Well, to be fair, nowhere's really in position against the Slark. They're going to look for the lift here. Top lane, the concussive shot will come out. Your silence as well. Look at the burst.
Nice. This is nicely played there. That time without the Chronosphere, just using the Ancient Seal, so...
Yeah, and those super bashes at that point. Lots of magic damage.
At this point, HGT just getting very straightforward, easy kills, which they don't even have to commit too many resources to, and then they just go back to farming, so...
Leap in bottom lane, but Yasim doesn't have his level 6. Almost feeds.
Oh.
Barely able to... That just cracks it in time to heal up. Well, I guess he knew it was coming soon, but he almost died for that one.
Yeah.
That would have been a very silly kill.
HGT are ahead by almost like 2,000 gold here, so that's just... They're just kind of out-farming their opponents in most of the lanes. They're being a bit more efficient with their supports.
I gotta say, guys, going back to this Degener build, you're up against Chronosphere Mystic Flare. How are you not gonna get points to repel this game? Like, what is the strategy? At least get the single value point in repel.
I just don't know, LD. I'm scratching my brain here, but this is not a degen game.
If they had like no nuke damage, I could totally understand it. But they've got tons of nuke damage.
The level up degen is just not a strategy for like 5 position Zeus in ever, really. I don't think. Like, it's only even if you're against melee heroes, I don't think you want more than 1 point in degen as a hard support.
And another chrono and another kill.
Oh, this mag's
likely coming their way. There's your bash. Nice heal. Boy, it would be nice to have some repel there as well, maybe to block one of those incoming nukes. Sadly, there is no repel. Just slightly slowed down enemy heroes as they waddle away. Oh man.
Yeah, this is not looking good.
I want to believe. I want to believe in the level 1, like, get your boots, just zone the enemy hero out of the offlane, but that's not the kind of game we're seeing.
The Omni, like the 5 position Omni doesn't get his boots. That's part of the problem. You don't get boots until 5 minutes into the game, so...
They need to give James some farm, honestly. I think if you do go this build, like, you have to give more space to the Omni Knight, but... Who do you sacrifice?
It's like too late now. It's not even if he gets some farm now. Well, he's not offering anything to his team. So.
11 is taunting here. Very difficult to go in for that RP against Airs.
Ooh, top lane.
Storm,
What's going on here? That's a dive into the tier 1 tower. Ember Spirit comes up and gets a support kill. Storm shows up. Well, not going to find much as the fire in out.
Nice zip out there.
Oh, bottom lane. ZSMJ's been left upon. He should be okay. The Fire Blast comes as the pounce expires. Perfect chain stun. It's not really a stun, but the pounce does lock the Mirana in place, so... Another death for ZSMJ. ZSMJ and Magnus are just trying to trade feeds here. 0-3 Magnus...
Fortunately, the Magnus will offer a lot...
Mirana.
The Magnus has CS, though. 37, 38 CS, 10 up on the Mirana, and the Magnus gives a lot more to his team. So if you're going to choose one hero to feed...
Well, it's Magnus' turn to feed now, because he's going to catch up. He's only on 3 deaths. He is number 4. He had to catch up. ZSMJ
He's got that regenerate. I don't know, GoDz, the skewer, the RP. No, he was thinking about it.
Yeah, that was a good, not worth wasting RP there, but...
If he had a teammate in range, it would have been.
I feel like a prophet here, but I think it's not exactly something hard to predict that ZSMJ and this Mag are going to keep on dying at this stage.
Well, chains on the air, top lane. He does have a zip out. He's going to have to use it, but he'll need to use a lot more zips. This should be... Oh, I think he could have committed for that one. There's no mon on your Storm. Yeah. Flame Guard's... Actually, Flame Guard was wearing off soon. Maybe that's his concern.
Storm used too much mana, like with the pull on the Remnant. He just needed to just zip the hell out of there ASAP, but he didn't get punished for it.
Yeah, and you just want to use one big zip there. If you're at that point, you got to know he's going to chase, and you've got that activation cost every time you cast it. So, well, good news is air does live. And look at give their Rubik some levels here. He's doing pretty well as your jump in comes and CSMJ panic leap.
Take turns feeding,
panic
man.
feed.
All right, where's the Mag? He's about to die. LD, find him quick. Don't miss a kill. He's mid lane, and there's a... Well, Moonlight Shadow's going to wear off, so... It's okay for now, but give it a minute or so.
I just... Why are you going bottom? If you want someone to go bottom, put Ren there. Your fat Void, who actually won't die ever at IMG, unless he decides to.
Chronosphere top lane.
Wow. He's too busy collecting his kills. Easy one on the Ember, who was way past where you normally would see an Ember Spirit. James, now do get out a bit with air. He's going to go in hard with the double damage rune.
That degen aura.
Doing work, man. Doing work.
Doesn't get him a kill, though. So,
but it's all about the intimidation factor.
Yeah. How
Phase drums incoming.
It's how it makes him feel inside, not about winning Dota right now.
That's the thing, is they have a Storm and a Void. 2 heroes that really shouldn't die bottom. There's no Blink Mag yet. So there's really no instant jump in. It's just very strange. Why would you keep on putting Mirana there? Finally, they'll bring ZSMJ mid, but we've been saying it for like 5 minutes now, and if we're saying it, you'd think the players would be too.
Yeah, I feel at this point Mirana just has to transition into like support utility mode, because you cannot go to lanes and farm against the Blink Slark. You've just got to stick with this Void and throw arrows on his Chronospheres and try and leech experience and farm through kills. Like, you're not going anywhere. ZSMJ is going to go jungle right now. Like, that's all he feels he can do. He's in the weeds. He's not looking good.
Yeah, he's farming ogres with right clicks here.
Yeah.
Or golems, not
Catch
ogres.
up Midas time, maybe? I don't know.
And good news, though, the Rubik has stolen Shockwave. That's a pretty damn big nuke. Here comes your rotation, though. James just strutting up top, looking for Ran. Not an easy kill, but Chrono is down.
Degen Aura is ready to go.
Oh,
Degen Aura has no cooldown,
Good
man.
to know.
Repel, that's got a 14-second cooldown.
Well, clearly the lower your cooldown, the better you are. Ran. Should be okay here, though. And they're actually bringing in the reinforcements. Kaka will arrive. He might get caught out by Mars. They'll go in to start on Pretty Haw. Blow him up real quick now, stealing that Omni heal. They'll throw it out a bit early. Doesn't actually damage anyone in the process, as the Void just casually walks to the side shop. He's like, I don't want anything to do with this. You guys are feeding.
Yeah.
Fortunately, backup is coming.
Storm and Void, Chronosphere in 3.
Okay, they're 4 melee heroes, but he doesn't have his Mask of Madness yet, so that's not happening.
The Tread's Mice is still decent attack speed, but you're not killing more than maybe 1 in the Chronosphere. And look at this Omni. He broke the kill streak, so he's got level 6 Arcane Boots, and he's got Repel. Hallelujah.
Yeah, right around the time your Mystic Flare is ready. Oh wait, they've already used that twice now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but better late than never.
I guess so. We'll see if they defend top. They've got Chronosphere, so...
They don't have Mask of Madness yet on Void, though, so they are going to need a really nice Mystic Flare initiation. But they can go in on this Ember. They could go in real soon, because that Repel will be on cooldown for quite a while, 4 seconds.
They saw the Moonlight Shadow, though, because they were de-warding while the Moonlight Shadow was used. But another just miscommunication, or maybe a bad play from ZSMJ. Should have held off, but tower denied.
No tower. Well, that's cue to go in. If your team Magneto, they're going to jump in for a Chrono. That connects on 3. Omni Repel before he can even raise those feeble arms. He's done for. Nice Repel.
Storm Repel saves him from the Shockwave.
And the Urn Charge, not enough to kill him off. They'll end up turning this, though, anyway.
Alright, you can trust the SMJ to give you some freebies.
Good plays there by Kaka, as he'll earn himself again. Yasim on the hunt, though. He's got to leap soon. They'll silence him. They'll try to slow him down, but there's a skewer. There's an RP. Shockwave thrown out. They probably should be diving this more.
Yeah, you got Shadow Dance. You blink in for that one. If
you have skewer. You have skewer RP as well. You get the blink pounce. You go for 1. You have a heal bomb. And you know, hey, the Mirana's dead. So.
Chrono was on cooldown, so
their only real way to disengage is an arrow at that point.
They definitely could have dived further. I guess they just like, oh, it's just a Skyreth. Like, but this is a pretty farm Skyreth. Is that? I thought it said 0 and 2. I'm like, no, that's an 8. 8 and 2 Skyreth mage.
Yeah.
Holy crap, this Skyreth is getting a lot of kills.
It's okay, they have Repel now. But the Skyreth is just so good that he kills you with Mystic Flare before you can even wave your arms to cast Repel.
And Omni, because of those 2 G-Gem points, he didn't have a Guardian Angel. Like, often you do skip it anyways, even with the heal Repel build, but if he was in the perfect position to get a nice 2-3 hero Guardian Angel off inside the Chronosphere, but just doesn't have the point yet.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, most of the damage was the Mystic Flare.
Yeah.
Your Repel is what you need there, but still, it probably will be useful in these upcoming fights. And you don't get that heal anymore like you used to.
So, Air's at bottom lane. He almost has his Orchid. At this point, the good news is for HGT is that Storm, Void, and Skyreth are doing some serious work.
Air caught out a bit. He would love to go back on Yasim, but they need the Orchid to make this one happen. As the mid tower will end up going down. That's Mars C who claims it. Nice little pickup there for him. 11 almost does Blink Dagger. They will jump in on the top lane, but Ran is just not an easy takedown. In fact, they have to be very careful not to get caught out by him, especially if Flame Guard is down. Your Ember is just total food for the Void.
Yeah, Void can just solo kill this Ember, I think.
He can solo kill him. He can solo kill the Mag. Well, maybe Mag is 7 armor. That might be a bit more difficult. Oh, bottom lane. Just a bit of a skirmish. They got to get Air's Orchid. Well, maybe they'll just try to get it from kills. A little smoke rotation coming through. Just your Skywrath. Guess it missed on Ran. He showed up a bit later on, and they're going to look for their jump in here, bottom lane. Omni in the tree line, though, and they're going to leave the Lumbering Oath out front. Temptress caught out a bit, but the heal, the Repel is there. The silence not effective. Chrono, however, might be. Mystic Flare onto James. See ya, buddy. And that's going to be a twofer, it looks like. Into the trees goes no TP scroll. No, they're going to let him live. Whew. Mercy was had this day. And in fact, it's the Slark who rumbles through.
Oh, no detection, though. And Slark isn't. It's not really his duty to carry it, but the problem is he shows up alone looking to clean up. And
I like how the Ogre's still not backing. Alright, now.
Yeah.
Alright, maybe I should run away now.
Where are your Tranquil Boots at? What's this Ogre build? No Tranquil?
Straight
no
Ogre Club, dude. Urn of Shadows is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I like that pickup.
I think the Urn...
But you could go Tranquil into Urn.
Yeah.
Then into your eggs. No, that's okay. I'm fine. I'm going back to base!
He has such a low mana pool right now, and not the best mana region. The Stick and the Urn give you a tiny bit. Oh, you see him? Yeah, just dead, yeah.
There you go.
DSMJ on the board!
First arrow that's...
Yeah!
I think that's the first arrow that's actually done something this game.
First kill of the game, and...
1 and 6. The streak is over.
I think this is the worst game I've seen DSMJ play since coming back to Dota 2, to be honest. Like, he's just played awful.
And he is the captain, right? He kind of makes the in-game calls for the team, in addition to
drafter
drafting.
and at least, the captain to a large extent.
Okay, so well, it's not like someone else was saying, it's not like he was just obeying orders.
Yeah.
He was calling the shots there as well, most likely. To be fair, though, they do have a fat Void, and it is a scary Void game. 5 melee heroes, some very mobile, but if you manage to catch 3 or 4 of these, and that Omni's one of them, it's going to be tough for IMG to deal with a BKB Void this game.
Light goes down bottom, but he's been revealed, or revealed himself with the daytime. And they're just going to go for a full 5-man push. They all TP down here and
I don't know. That's actually quite dangerous.
make their intent known. And against a Void, this is dangerous.
In theory, your Omni Knight should be able to sit like way far back. Probably the Magnus as well. Does he have a Blink Dagger? He does.
Goes into the tree. Not the best spot. I think
But
you want to
they've
be
got
higher
pretty
up.
all smoked out. They have a Storm ready to zip in or get online. Even your Void rumbling into position here. IMG, I don't know about this push.
Sentry ready for the Mirana ult. Actually, Mag's position is... It's further away from the tower, but HGT are looking like they maybe want to go for a jump outside of the tower. So this Mag position could actually
Oh,
work
they're
out.
going for it. It looks like... Oh, Sleight of Fist is there. No? Okay. Casual tower
deny.
deny.
Yep.
Chop.
Oh, and Mag blinks higher up. He still wants to go for this.
He's good. He might get
Scarlet?
spotted out here by this Scarlet. He's so close. Nope, no way to break the trees.
They got another Sentry down, so they're going to see this Moonlight Shadow in.
Will they? Ran in. Oh, he's going to get stunned to start. That is trouble. No, Chronosphere only managed to catch out one. He even trapped his own Storm.
Oh, dear.
Then the Mystic Flare comes through, but it's not going to do a whole lot here as the Omni Knight manages to split some of the damage before casting the Self-Repel. Now Air Force to zip out. Complete fail Chrono set up by that Sentry and the Observer Ward on the high ground, as well as just pure hesitation more
Mag
than
came
anything.
in for a decent RP, but there was no follow-up damage, so ZSMJ lives just with a leap out, and just Rubik who ends up dying there. So not exactly a victory for either team, but
I feel HGT are much more reliant on their Chrono than IMG
Yeah.
are on their RP, though.
they can keep on pushing it. Without Chronosphere,
It sets up your Mystic Flare, sets up the Arrow. It lets Storm catch the other heroes. Without it, it's tough. Blinking now from Yasim. He's going to go hard in the paint. Picks off one. Looking for a bit more. His air will retreat out, but they just keep on jumping in. That Repel Steal doing okay work as Kaka will retreat. They manage to keep air alive. Another Shockwave. Not enough for the kill. In fact, they'll go back in onto 11 here. Where's the Bash? Where's the Bash? Doesn't need it.
yeah, he was a bit too deep. And we'll see IMG. They're actually still lurking around. It looks like they maybe are considering going to re-engage here. Ember Spirit will refill his bottle back at base. Can Fire Run it back into this one?
Ren's sticking around for a while. He does have Time Walk. Without RP, very difficult to kill him.
Surprised Slack's going for this BKB build. He's got the Repel this game, but besides...
It is really nice versus the Skywrath Silence.
Yeah.
If the Omni's not with you.
Storm Orchid as well, so there's a lot of silence to handle, but... Yeah, from that point of view, you're maybe not always going to be repelled. Omni could die, and then you can still fight when he's dead.
Yeah, you could go Manta on a lot of heroes, but on Slark it's a pretty useless item, so... The Yasha is a nice value item, but...
Alright, Chronosphere back up now for Ran. He's got a Maelstrom to go with his items, so his deeps is adding up.
Yeah, that BKB for the Slark closing in. RP is ready. Chrono is ready. We've
Right,
seen this movie in a similar spot
They
before,
got Guardian Angel now, but...
They just have such good ward coverage. HGT are going to be
Oh man, they see everything.
spotted
here.
out
This
whenever
is-
they move around.
Like, IMG should not lose this fight because of their vision. They've got sentries, they've got wards, the one at the Roshan pit hill, and the one behind the T2 tower. There is just no way HGT should win a fight at this bottom tier 2.
But that's where I really like this movement from the Storm. He's going to split push top. Maybe he's a bit too slow, but at least he's trying for it. 11. Now into the tree line, looking for the jump. The Chronosphere's there. It catches out two. Arrow coming through. Mystic Flare to boot. Where's that Repel? Now the Omni Knight ult. They barely keep
late.
the Ember alive. He's able to zip retreat out thanks to that Repel. Not going down just yet. Now they'll go jump in with there. In the end, the Magnus ends up falling, though, and it's a headlong retreat. Silence comes out. Another jump in from your Void. They still have that stolen Repel from the last fight. Going forward onto Temptress, trying to finish him off, her off, whatever. Kills him. 3 dead. Looking for a bit more. Yasim could be next. Gets pulled mid-leap. Air says, come over here. Grabs him by the legs as he goes in for the dunk and just drags him down to reality. 4 heroes fall. A big triple picked up there.
Yeah. Somehow ZSMJ gets the last hits too, which is huge for him considering how underfarmed he was. He's got treads, drums, and he's going to pick up some sort of item. Picks up the Blade of Alacrity. He's going to be the diffusal buyer for the Omni Knight this game, I imagine. And, well, they can follow this up with a tower, so very big team fight win here.
ZSMJ, Ran. Could be a little lick of trouble here. Slight's going to come through. That catches out Ran. The much tougher one to bring down, but they'll try for it. They've got Blink Skewer. No RP,
Fire
though.
it forward. Yeah, there we go. Took a bit of time to do it. Slider Fist, Searing Chain's not going to land on the Void. That, if he used the Fire early, the creep wave wouldn't have been there. So, a bit hesitant from the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, to be fair, HGT did a 5 alive and could have been streaming back bottom, but they were in pretty deep. Ideally, you get the chains on the Mirana there. Then you get an easy kill. But
Omni was, looking back at that team fight, Omni was just a little bit too slow. Like the Guardian Angel, the repel. I think he was waiting to see where this guy threw the ultimate before he repelled, and he should have just been using the Guardian Angel.
Yeah.
Like Guardian Angel first, and then worry about who needs to repel more. But
the thing was, repel there was kind of a double-edged sword, though, because if you repel right away, then the other hero takes all the damage.
They were kind of splitting.
So,
I guess.
I think holding the repel was good, but healing and ulting maybe a little bit sooner could have helped. I don't know. It's just tough when two allies are stacked. You really can't. You got to wait until one is low and then repel that one. But
The Void's right-click damage is adding up now, so definitely the Guardian Angel needs to be used in these Chronospheres.
yeah, with max rank Ancient Seal, of course your magic damage from Time Lock can be doubled inside a Chronosphere, and on top of that you've got the Chain Lightning proc. So this is one of those. It's one of those smaller interactions between Skywrath or Ancient Apparition with his Ice Vortex as well.
Yeah.
Really buffs up the Void's right clicks.
Well, see HGT content to pressure bottom lane here for a little bit, but I think realizing they've only got two, and the smoke from IMG. This is bit of I feel like a play that needs to kind of turn something over, because right now these last few fights have not gone well for them.
Well, are they even going to find ZSMJ here? And if they do, is it worth it? Just the Mirana, not the two real cores, the Void, the Storm. Those are the big prizes to be had. But maybe they'll settle for ZSMJ. They're hesitating though, GoDz. And it's a casual Storm illusion, just on a little trip through the neighborhood. It'll scout them out.
I have to go in that Mirana without the slack there, and leapt out of the Roshan pit. I think they may be still worried about Roshan.
With 5 melee heroes trying to walk into the pit against the Void, that is a recipe for feed, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
But they do feel the pressure a little bit here, because the one thing that HGT is really doing well is split pushing. Air keeps on going top, ratting it out. They're not really afraid of sending their Mirana and Void out a little bit. And it's only the Slark, and the Slark +1, really, because if you just send the Slark, other heroes can TP. So they need Slark and then either Ogre or Ember or Mag, but some of these heroes aren't that mobile. And they have to commit an RP with one of them. Not easy to get kills on these split pushers.
Yeah, and on the other side of that same boat, you've got HGT, who can get tons of easy kills. Void Chronosphere is almost a guaranteed kill if you try and split push. Storm has great pick-off potential. So IMG have to stay grouped up as 5. They're getting out-farmed and just aren't as efficient just because of the nature of their draft. And the problem is, Storm's going to pick up, I think, a Hex next, and then there's no real answer to the Storm this game. He's just going to go beast mode in these fights. He can zip on someone like the Omni, the Ember Spirit, use that Hex to get these quick kills before you can react with a repel.
Yeah, realistic answers to him would be a farmed Ogre with an Ags, an Abyssal, or at least a Basher on the Slark, or RP. But you commit RP on him, it may just end up cost you the fight anyway if the Void just goes out of control.
Yeah, you've got the Chronosphere and the Storm who doesn't have enough counters this game. So I feel between those two, HGT in a really good position.
Still, IMG are the aggressors here. They're going to push on in. Your Moonlight Shadow popped. Radiant. Backing off, they'll deploy a Sentry. They are doing a good job of dealing with...
doing the exact same thing top lane.
Why not? Keep on split pushing. Pretty Hog going to walk in. He'll drop an Observer. This is just in range of that Radiant Sentry. Can be insta-countered. It will. Now the leap forward onto Pretty Haw. Yasim will go. He popped his ulti for this. Then they force-staff Pretty Haw out, keeping him alive. Actually, a self-force-staff as Yasim looks for another leap. Not going to happen. Kaka here to turn it. Mystic Flare. Huge Chrono. Catches out one. Mars C currently is repelled. Or was repelled, so kept alive. And they can't really do much to follow that up. Slark for Skywrath, but that did cost them a Chrono.
Slark? Just it was a nice idea initially, but as soon as that force, you have to know when to retreat. Like, I think going in for that kill is fine, but as soon as that force stuff out there, you can't chase further. Your Shadow Dance is about to wear off, and
yeah, it was long gone at that point.
Yeah,
maybe he thought ZSMJ just fogged him, and he was just like a few units out of range. Or sorry, it wasn't ZSMJ, it was Pretty Haw, I believe.
There.
Yeah, Pretty Haw. Still, Chrono used, but looks like won't matter. They get a nice kill on the Slark, and IMG just back on out.
All these fights are kind of even kill trades, but the gold graph is just continuously dipping down and down with HGT like, before these fights break out, you had Storm farming top lane, you had them taking top tier 2 tower. They're just farming them. They split up farming their neutrals, farming multiple lanes, and IMG just aren't finding that same efficiency.
And there, GoDz, is an item that is a sight for sore eyes. Finally, a Diffusal Blade versus all these Omni Knight picks. Not a full-scale solution in some games, but I don't really think that the Guardian Angel is that big of a deal. Like, as long as you just purge off the Repel, you're getting a Mystic Flare kill to start these fights.
And it comes at the same time as two other big items. The Storm just gets his Sheep Stick, Void's just getting his BKB, so HGT suddenly looking really scary.
They have so many answers for Omni. Purge for the Repel,
Yeah.
the Silence, the Hex. He almost has to self-repel just to ensure he gets off some heals and Guardian Angels. Well, Guardian Angels. One Guardian Angel in the fight.
Yeah, I'm not really sure IMG are going to be too ready for these new kind of team fight changing items which are being picked up.
And the BKB on Ran as well. You might not even kill this Void.
Oh,
DD. He's going to strut up bottom lane. Come on, Ran. Do it. Do it. Well, he's going to have to now, GoDz. He's been RP'd, then multi'd, then feeds. All right. That's one way to do it. It's just like, I have a double damager, guys. Look at me. Look at me. Oh, wait. I'm dead.
If only
that was cocky as hell, dude. Oh, man.
Yeah. Storm going to get pushed out of the top lane, but that was a...
The best part was he Mask of Madness, too. He just, like, let me make sure I'm as killable as possible. He had no vision. He just had this ward.
He needed to go for the blind time walk onto the high ground, but...
Nice chains here onto the SMJ. Then they bring him down in time. Nope. Well, that's one way to throw away your lead.
Look, that was Void's first death of the game. He's played solid.
But he's very important to it. He actually doesn't have a kill. Poor guy. He's 0-1.
Damn Skywrath has been last hitting everything. Like,
what have you actually done with your gold? Pretty haw. Please. He is level 11, though.
He's got a 4-staff, I guess, which is done pretty well against the Slack. Helped save lives here or there. Or force Slack to keep on chasing and make Slack feed. But it's the Storm who's played also a pretty perfect game. He's only been involved in 6 of these 17 kills on the HGT side, but that's gonna change over the next 10-15 minutes.
Well, they're gonna try and push in here. Yasim working on the creep wave. Backup in tow from 11 and Marcy. The Void is up now. Teleport scroll was already used just to get out to the lane, so he cannot TP top to defend this one. The RP isn't ready yet. You'd love to have your Void here. You'd love to see them mount a tower defense, but they're just going to go for Roshan instead.
Yeah, if Void wanted to, he could have just walked from mid lane and the others TP'd. So Roshan worth trading for your tier 2 tower, and well, I think Air on the Storm maybe takes this one. Sure, the Void, we just saw him kind of die and go down, but I think at this point Void can just play. He's got his BKB. He has that kind of backup plan, and the Storm, well, he's got no BKB to kind of fall back on.
They'll work on the Roshan here. Poppy Moonlight Shadow. In comes IMG. The Rosh already dead. And now the fight's on. They get it started with a blink as well as a lift from the Rubik. Follow-up Chrono connects on 2. Also catches out 2 of HGT. The heal is there. The RP counter might just turn this fight, or maybe not. Onto the high ground they'll go. RP was stolen. Used by Kaka to isolate your Ember. Great little exchange there from the Rubik as they look for a bit more. Air on the hunt. Onto James. The zip. The purge. The kill. 4. Jamming it in is the SMJ with an arrow, and they're looking to maybe make it 5. They've got a lift here.
They canceled the blink as well with the urn.
There's a 4-step in 3, but it just might be too late. A leap forward. Concussive shot coming. It's a wipe. 5 hit the deck.
5 for an
Great
Aegis.
execution there from HGT. 2 Hero Chronosphere. Really nice RP steal. Timely Diffusal Blades from ZSMJ to remove those repels. Air just zipping here and there, doing some good work. And not perfect, but good. And that's all they really need to be against IMG.
Yeah, he got caught in the Chronosphere himself, which isn't ideal. Like, ideally, the Chronosphere on 2 heroes, and then Storm goes and finds the Omni Knight. But this Omni Knight is so scared of the Storm that these Chronospheres are going off, and Omni Knight doesn't even get, like, a spell to help out whoever's caught in the Chronosphere because he's positioned so far back. And this is where Omni just needs some kind of mobility. And he actually has got the Blink Dagger. I don't know if he had it during that fight. I think he probably did since he died and wouldn't have picked up anything since, but even with the Blink Dagger, he did not offer anything to his team in a timely fashion.
Yeah, this is starting to come apart at the wheels for IMG. When the offlane Mirana that started 0-6 this game is now 7-6, you know you've got problems.
Yeah, DSMJ has recovered somehow, which is definitely a testament to this.
Hey, this is the guy that once had his relic destroyed and refarmed it in just a handful of minutes. And that was before all these ridiculous gold bounties that you see nowadays. That was just good old-fashioned quality CSing. We'll look for Ran here, though. A little drive-by skewer Blink Dagger, Staff Blink Dagger RP. That's a nice pick-off on the Void. At the same time, though, Yasim, you'll probably pay the price here. Caught out by the silence. The burst damage? No, not enough. He will manage to ult and BKB.
It's a tough one to get. If you get a zip from afar with the extra ball lightning damage, you can maybe kill Slark, but...
I think that extra HP from the BKB is just a bit too much.
Yeah, 1500 HP is tricky, so...
And you got to use the Orchid right away just to get that burst damage, and if you don't Hex instantly, just BKBs. So.
Well, you don't actually get the Orchid damage, because the Orchid lasts too long. So, like, you Orchid then Hex him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you have to Hex right away.
Yeah. So, he just BKBs and then takes 0 Orchid damage, which is, I think, what happened there in the end.
Yeah. It's not really avoidable, though.
Yeah.
They still have that stolen RP. For a solid minute or so here. They might even get a jump. Oh, well, jump might go the other way. Dark Pack's there, and Kaka's dead. So much for that. Arrow looking for James. Not gonna happen.
Pretty Hook probably in trouble as well. Has a blink and 4-stab actually. Whew. That's a quick escape.
That's what he's done with all his gold.
So for HGT, if you kind of, I mean, Void getting picked off in those positions, I don't think is really a misplay. That's like you're baiting out, well, not even baiting, but you're forcing out an RP, you're creating space elsewhere in the map, but the Rubik was kind of caught in no man's land. And for HGT, they can kind of just play this more farming game. Void's working on a dataless. Storm has picked up an Ogre Club, so his BKB is coming up soon. And I think HGT are pretty comfortable with their position. Like, they're forcing out, like, Ember's going for a BKB, which I think is just, it's not going to
You have to, though. Your Omni is just going to die every fight.
You have to, but at the same time, like,
you can purge off the repel. Yeah. He needs BKB, and then he needs more. I don't know if he'll have time to farm it. Yasim did opt to complete that Manta. Kind of an awkward item on Slark. You're up against the Chronosphere. Manta not going to help you dodge out of that one.
You can get out of the silences without having to use his BKB. It's like a second way out.
But your illusions are really shit generally on Slark. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they're not getting Essence Shift, and I don't know, it's just kind of underwhelming.
And it's just Storm BKB, and IMG is still kind of, I mean, this is their lineup. They stick together as 5, and they can't really be alone, because Storm will just pick them off, Void will pick them off. They've got 2 heroes that can just do great single target ganking.
Casual
I think it was on an illusion.
Yeah.
The Slack Manta illusion.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Mind games.
Fade out spells. Yeah, it was. He used the Ancient Seal plus...
well, comes at a cost, perhaps. They're going to zip in. Look to go. Where the hell is that Chrono? Air still zipping on forward. Chrono will connect. It's only on Yasim. He chases 11, in fact. Then he backs off. This is a terrible start to the fight. And now they look to turn it. Forced it back as the Storm in an awkward position is Ran. RP still ready. They RP, but he time walk dodges it. He was past that wind-up stage where he becomes invulnerable, and they just can't connect.
I don't think that was the RP anyways. I think he should have just been, like, there was no Chronosphere. The Storm was out of mana. I think you go for the T2 tower and save the RP for an actual team fight there. Like, ganking the Void earlier with those solos RPs is fine, but when you're in a position to push, you hold that RP. But, hey, end of the day, they're going to get the T2 tower regardless, it looks like, without the Chronosphere up, and HGT not ready to fight so much right now.
Nice zip out from Kaka, stealing those Fire Remnants, putting them to good use as 11 will bite the dust. And in comes Yasim, but he just gets wrecked by Ran. Oh, almost killed off. There you go. He'll finish the job. No BKB. Perhaps he's better off without his Chronospheres. He jumps in. He finds a secondary kill, looking to make it 3 that he's effectively brought down. At the same time, though, Mars C has also found 3 on the Ember. Who's going to win the man fight? Where's that bash? Give me a bash. Give me a bash, baby. There you go. Down he goes. It's going to be 5. Time walk on in. Ogre down, boys.
Yeah. Ogre was 5 mana short of his
He needs to stop having Chrono in team fights, man. They just go so much better when he doesn't have it.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, he's got Chrono back up now, and apparently that's the magic formula for HGT.
Just quickly use it. Use it on the Roshan, dude. Just get it out of your inventory. Well, Daedalus coming soon now. 2100 gold online. It just needs the Demon Edge.
He's sending the courier already, so it seems like he says, screw buyback. I'm doing just fine, and at least he's got some kills now, Ran. 2 kills, 2 assists, and two deaths and the 15 assists. And HGT is still, yeah, they're still looking pretty good here. They've got to be a bit careful with Ember Spirit getting more and more farmed. He's got 3k gold now to go with his BKB, and that BKB just allowed him to just keep on fighting. Storm actually dying in the end is a pretty big pick-off.
Yeah, we'll see. IMG really struggling here. The Omni could be so big this game, but I just love that Diffusal Blade pickup. So hard to get in a good position against Chrono, and it's more than the Chrono, it's the Storm. The Storm just has his eyes on the prize, on James.
That fight he leapt in on the Slark with the Hex and did nothing though, so he needs to be careful this Storm. That was where that fight went really bad for HGT at the start, but then Magnus decided to blow an RP, so it kind of went both ways with both kind of core initiators kind of fudging things a bit. But good extended pause here. It seems there's some lag over on the Radiant side. Or
Yeah.
IMG guys.
Definitely not good when you've got like a Magnus on your team. Even Slark with that blink into leap combo. Pretty time sensitive.
Yeah.
Ember, definitely not on the level of a Puck, but a fairly finesse-oriented hero.
Yeah, against the Void especially. Like if he leaps into Chronosphere, you want to use that quick, fast fingers, fire him out of there. So definitely some situations where you want that.
I just think there's going to come a point this game where the Void just gets Refresher. And he can't mess up both. There's just no way.
I think that's probably his next item after the
You catch
Fatal.
one hero with one Chrono. That should be doable against 5 melee heroes. You get the second with the other. And you've got the Diffusal Blade, so they can't just repel a hero to safety. And you should be able to just get a kill from there.
Yeah.
At least one.
Unless you get Blink dodged or Fire Remnant dodged. There's a Blink like on...
Yeah. Fire Remnant dodge is possible, but...
3 Blink daggers and a Fire Remnant, so...
Ember also... You don't really need the Void to control him. You've got the Storm for that. He's got his Hex. Ember could BKB, but he's still got to be very careful about walking near this Void. Someone
still has to kind of try and find the Omni Knight, because even though you've got the Diffusal for the Repel could just be used to get rid of these Hexes, the Orchids. So when Storm goes in on someone, you blink Repel, and even if they diffuse that Repel off, the Repel's still done its job. And that's where, sure, Diffusal's nice and you do need it this game, but it's not going to counter everything the Omni Knight brings to the table.
Yeah, I think if you're IMG, you need to be able to live through Chrono, and they just need so much more farm to do that. Slark not nearly tanking up, only 1800 health, which at 41 minutes is pretty abysmal. Like, we see Slarks that are basically capped out at this point, like Abyssal, you'll have your Scotty, probably one more item after that, either an MKB or something with a little bit more utility like a Butterfly, but it's just a fairly impoverished game across the board. Same for these HGT heroes, but...
Like, you kind of stay with the Mansa. Like, these illusions don't do much. The item itself doesn't give you much damage.
BKB is kind of up against the Void.
If he had the Scotty, he'd be a much bigger threat in these fights, but at the same time, he's just going super defensive, just wanting to stay alive.
He does have Empower, which is decent this game. I mean, it's really good if he steals a bunch of stacks, but... I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't think I've seen Yasim right-click more than, like, 5 times in the average team fight.
Yeah, at least the last few. The last few have been just really messy team fights in some ways, but...
Yeah. Well, they're always going to be messy against Chronosphere. That's kind of the issue, I guess.
I think a lot of it's just going to be, like, believe in the Empower Ember Spirit in these fights. So, Ember Spirit has the completed Daedalus, and they're worried about a Roshan here. They could just... I don't think they want to go for it themselves, but...
MG into the pit. They'll get a nice little ward down.
This is...
They're going to go for a little
ballsy play, that's for sure, but...
They do have Empower. Bloodlust here as well, as they'll heal up Marcy. But they're about to show... I think they just showed someone in the river. Dire Vision did, I believe, spot out James.
I'm not sure. I think James is far enough away across.
Oh, maybe not. I thought he walked down for a second.
He's on the other side of this
now
hill.
they definitely know. But it's too late, I guess.
It looks that way.
Going in. They don't have more earn charges for Marcy.
Slark actually didn't go in. He showed himself to the ward and then went back into the jungle. So in some ways, he hid the fact they were Roshan, but that's a big call, and I'm surprised IMG went for that.
That's ballsy.
Because they did not see any heroes on the map for a good 2 minutes, and sure, like as casters we can say, oh, it's a nice little Roshan sneak. They went in there, HGT were at the top lane in their jungle, like it was a good time to do it, but
They did have a good ward near the pit.
yeah, it was just
Ember can get out quickly, Slark can get out quickly, but
if it was just a
Magnus
simple
Ogre
smoke though,
can't,
like
so.
you get wiped in the pit there. Ember Spirit was no way. Like they had 2 heroes with like 300 HP.
Yeah, that's true. They were out of urn charges. Omni didn't walk in with them. It was definitely risky.
I don't think it was a good smoke, a good Roshan, but it pays off. Like that was to me something that will work maybe like 1 time out of 5, and hey, it worked out there.
Well, sometimes it takes that 1 out of 5 to come back, you know?
And this Hemisphere can benefit a lot from an Aegis, so
Yeah, really good against the Void, obviously. You're up against a one-hit wonder ult, that's okay. Just Aegis, then turn the fight. He's still gonna just die 1v1 though, that's for sure. They will need some lockdown for Ram with his BKB Daedalus online, but perhaps they can just wait that out.
Radiant lacking vision now. This Storm Gem has just dewarded absolutely everything, and as a result, IMG they find themselves in this tricky position where sure they've got an Aegis and they want a 5-man, but they don't know where to exactly go. They could try and start chipping away at the high ground, but Ember Spirit is not like a high ground sieging carry. It's a carry that wants to either teamfight or defend, and
Unless you're in just one-shot enemy hero's territory, which he might be with it power.
for IMG, it's really tricky to get too much done over the next 5 minutes. This is the only really course of action, which is to go for a smoke gank, which they're going to do. But even this, they're smoking blind. They have no clue where HGT are, apart from just the few heroes that are showing themselves on the map to some extent.
They are showing their Slark now mid lane. He's cleaving down the creep wave, and they're going to draw a little wrap around here, but HGT are at the ready. IMG smoke about to break. It looks like it will break. And now it's Ran up on the high ground, is going to get eyes on the Ogre. He's got to know he's not alone. They've already seen one. They'll leap forward with a Repeldia Sim.
Yep.
Still searching for that
HGT see a lot of this, though, with their Observer Ward.
Yeah, only a few heroes were smoked at the end there, and now they're all unsmoked. So they had their suspicions anyway. You don't see Slark there on his own at 45 minutes with an Aegis on the Ember. They're going to try to break this space. They jump in, the Slight to start, connecting onto Kaka with the follow-up chains, but I don't really see them committing fully to this. They're leaving both cores in the front line. They Repellia Sim to start another chains to searching. Actually misses on the Slight there, though, and he'll quickly back out as your Storm jumps on in. Onto 11 he'll go. He does get healed up, now repelled to keep him safe, but Chrono will find James bashed to bits. Onto 11, quick double. Who cares about the Ember? We'll deal with him last. At least that seems to be the plan. The BKB going to be wearing off soon. He'll zip out. He will find the Marana, who was waiting on his Spirit.
The Fire Remnant and
That's
Flame Guard, that was a nice little play by Mars Seed.
You rarely see Remnants getting kills at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
It basically was a Remnant there.
Pretty clutch.
Still, that's with Aegis, and I mean, yeah, they hold it, but
yeah,
it's just so easy for the Storm to do that every fight. I honestly wonder if Omni's biggest contribution might be sitting at the well and just waiting to use his global
with an Ag Scepter. Yeah, he needs to farm the Ags first, which is I guess 2,000 away, so not the worst, but not the best.
By the way, I think we didn't mention this, GoDz.
I just saw it before the
Shadowblade
fight. Yeah,
Shadowblade Magnus
into a gem though, so if they can get rid of the gem, like late game Shadowblades, I actually think can be really good because it gets to a point where supports don't really have the space or want to carry sentries and dust.
But there's a super stacked Storm with the gem right now.
At this stage, it's not offering much for Mag. I don't know about this.
I definitely agree with you though. Like you get to that point in the game, there was a crazy, I forget what it was. There's like a crazy Lone Druid game I think you were casting, where like the Lone Druid had a Shadowblade and he was like doing all sorts of BOT shenanigans with his bear.
Oh man,
I seem to recall.
That was a funny game.
Yeah, that was some true Southeast Asian clown Dota at its finest. But I mean, those types of, that was like a 70-80 minute game, and this is not quite at that point yet. We'll see though. I mean, we might also see one of those fights where it's like, man, if he had a Refresher, a BKB, could have been way different. But for now, I'll look for their big Shadowblade cleave shots from the Empower.
I want to make you do the Sages, but it's gone in about 30 seconds time, so yeah, window is being shut down right now. Storm on the high ground, and there we go. Aegis gone.
Fairly underwhelming Aegis, but it's just very difficult to get things done. And this might be the GG item.
This is a really big game-changing item.
They're going to look for the jump in from the Slark. He's off the mark, though. Now concussive shot will connect. He'll still commit to this one and attempt to go in at the same time. On the backside of the fight, it's Air again, just finding pickoffs. He brings down one. They're looking for more. Chronosphere number 1. That's on 2. The follow, actually, that was on 3. The follow-up was on 2. They get both during the Chronospheres. They were almost completely overlapped, but what does it matter? Make it 4 down. Your Omni Knight, the lone survivor.
Oh, it's a die back from Ember too.
GG.
He bought back to a Fire Remnant, and yeah, the refresher, you said it, this could be GG. And that's the thing, this game's been kind of even-ish for like the longest time, and all it took was one item.
It's just too easy when a Void gets this stacked, unless you have the kind of lineup that can like somehow punish the Void. Like maybe you're just Necro ult him even after he gets a couple kills so he can't buy back, win the game there. You have an Aegis to work with or a buyback to work with. You can base race while the Chronos are down, but if you just have to fight into the refresher Void, you just don't win those fights very often. And
now it's still over a minute before Ember's back, so I don't think they can defend at all. They're going to lose probably a couple lanes of reactors here. Slark going to respawn in 25 seconds, but Slark doesn't do much damage. Mac has an RP, but they just don't have what it takes to do too much right now to HGT.
Yeah, zip on in, onto the Ogre Magi, then they'll pull back James. They do get a multicast, though, and then an RP, skewer into the fountain. They might even lose Ren here. Oh, they will. The 3-2-2 is real. 3 down.
Storm, please.
Now it's GSMJ. What the hell?
No,
why do you go for that? Oh, my God.
HGT looked pretty good yesterday, but this has been a...
I think they're still in okay shape here, though. They'll have their refresher Chrono in 90. But that's just...
They're still in okay shape.
That's just cocky, man. One of these days, they're going to do it, and... I mean, I would not completely count out Magneto. I'd still say it's like a 1 in 10 type of game for them, but... Down
the mid lane, it looks like they want to go. They've picked up Ultimate Orb on Ember Spirit. Let's see, what is he planning? I guess a Lincoln Sphere against the Hex, the Orchid on the Storm.
Yeah, he might just need it as well. Unless he wants to go for a Hex of his own, but that... Normally not what you have your Ember do. They kind of could use that instant lockdown, though. They don't have anything reliable for the Storm right now.
No.
But normally the way the fights will begin is that Storm will BKB and then zip in, so... I don't know how much a Hex will really give you, and... Just doesn't really synergize that well with the rest of his kit.
Well, IMG, they're making it go on the high ground here, thinking they could try and force out some buybacks, perhaps. 25 seconds on Void. Void is just going to play it safe and use that buyback right away. Could have tried to risk it and just stall and have, like, you'd lose the tier 3 tower. Maybe you lose a range racks, but he says, why bother? He's 6-slotted, so he doesn't need the money for items. He just wants to have the buyback up, but I don't see him dying in this next fight unless, well, he dives the fountain again.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, one more fountain dive, if the Void is a part of it, could really cost them. And, I mean, look at these other buybacks. Mirana, not a hugely relevant hero, I suppose. Well, actually, she kind of is now. ZSMJ has an AC. That's big for pushing. Yeah, you'll want to be careful here about overextensions. If you're HGT, this one is most certainly out of the bag right now and back on the field of play.
Roshan not up yet. It's up in 1 minute's time, so... HGT in a much stronger position to try and take it, but we'll see. The last time IMG did manage to sneak it.
IMG will look to contest this, perhaps. The gem is still on the Storm. Important to note.
It's a new gem. They actually lost the gem to the Omni Knight.
Oh, it's a new one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they have a gem.
Shadow Blade.
They have a gem.
Yeah.
So your Magnus will still be a bit of a sad panda.
He's probably thinking, like, I could have a refresher now. 3k Shadow Blade, the 2.2k gold on top of that. That's almost a complete refresher. And HGT just going to keep sitting on this Roshan pit. As 5, though, so...
Getting that value. That's a risky jump in from Yasim.
He's close to buyback himself. Like, not that... Yeah, he's about 500 short, so... Slark is probably the one hero you can send in the front lines and, well, try and use that buyback for the good of your team. Ember Spirit has to play so safe for the next 2 minutes without his buyback.
Double smoke at the ready here, GoDz. Both teams have it. Who's going to get the jump here? We'll find out soon. For now, it's Yasim in the front lines.
You could theoretically solo Chronosphere him because you've
Come
got
on,
Refresher.
boys. Let's have a little rumble, a little death match. Nice BKB dodge there by ZSMJ.
Yeah.
Skewer in. Could have pulled the rest of HGT into a very uncomfortable predicament.
Some fast fingers there, and well, Roshan back up. So I think both teams should be aware of this. It was like a medium duration respawn, but it's been some time since the Roche respawn.
Oh, that smoke. They're going to look for it now. Slark will commit a little bit. Another BKB forced out. That's 2. Although they may well cool down before anything of note happens.
Yeah. And IMG, like the last time they killed Roshan fairly slowly is the problem. So HGT are not going to be fooled by the same trick once again.
With Slark having a butterfly, empower, and bloodlust, I don't think it'll be that slow this time, though. The butterfly adds a lot of damage.
Yeah. Last time they didn't have the Slack in the pit, so
Yeah.
it could change.
At the same time, your Storm goes in really aggressively. No BKB. There's your multi to attempt to turn it. Chrono #1. They found the Magnus, but he is kept alive by the Guardian Angel. Still, there's some magic damage here, cleaving on through him. And then the secondary Chrono on to Marcy, but he's taking no damage at all. Finally, they'll be able to bring him down in the end, finishing him off there. Was that still the Guardian Angel?
Yeah,
it was just lasting that whole time.
They got the kill in the Chronosphere because ZSMJ got off a nice defuse. So Ogre died to the Skyrath ultimate, and then they used the defusal to get the other one, the Magnus.
They're gonna smoke inside the pit. Yasim jumps in, maybe just a tiny bit early here on the Slark. He does have his ultimate though. He's gonna finish off the Roshan. He does manage to grab the Aegis, and then he's gonna die once. He's probably dying twice. They got a Hex ready, I believe.
Storm can just chase him wherever he goes anyways.
See ya, Yasim.
Was that a dive? No, he
had the Aegis.
He had Aegis. I was thinking if he'd bought back for that, but he still got his buyback. And he's probably gonna need to use it.
Still, it's just like ease of execution. This is why you go Void, man.
Void is going to be.
You
one of
compare the
Void
Void pick to the Magnus. First of all, the Magnus can't solo kill anyone, and then secondly, it's much harder to hit a decent RP than a good Chrono.
Void puts so much pressure on your opponents to make flashy plays like blink dodging Chronospheres
or to pick a a counter like the Venge, but even then, you often just lose that hero. Like the counter to the Venge is this refresher. You swap the hero out, then he just chronos you again where the swapped hero is, and he kills you both anyway. So it's just Void Dota.
Double buybacks will save some of these racks. Just the melee at mid has gone down in the tier 3 top game, down to 75 HP, but HGT just going to be satisfied they're even further slowing down the item progressions.
There's your Chronosphere on the Yasim, and despite a little bit of evasion, it won't be enough. Omni ult was not ready.
Yikes, that's looking like we may see the game from this. Kaka.
He's got the Stolen Shadow Dance. He'll use it here to stay alive a bit longer as they come roaring in. HGT, a little bit clowny in the mid game, but they are closing it out now, looking to take down IMG and improve to 2-0 in Starladder Season 11 China action. They'll bring down this melee Rex top. Still 11 searching on a casual Shadow Blade initiation attempt. Can't get it range for anyone.
Yeah, so they're happy with just the one melee Rex at top lane, and probably with good reason. They can back off here. Objective acquired, and if this Ember Spirit dies mid lane.
Uh-oh. No Chronospheres yet, but they have the lift.
Oh, good
and
arrow.
he gets pulled into the arrow. That's the first time we've seen that lift-arrow combo.
That
56
is
minutes
actually, it's been a long time coming.
What a turnaround there.
And Slack and Ember no buyback. This is Mega Creeps, it looks like.
Where are you going? Where are you going, Magnus?
What's out? He does not want to fight this.
Magnus? Come on, do it. Blink. Skewer. No, then I'll just die anyway.
Only had the refresher for the double
He
skewer.
could go for Kaka, though. At least improve his record a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Kaka healing up now, though. This ain't happening.
He's just looking to make a flashy play. Good game will be called. He's not even going to go for anything here. And HGT pulled together a scrappy victory.
Yeah. Celebratory double bubble. Lots of trouble. 5 melee heroes against Void and a Storm with very little lockdown to deal with them. It was always going to be tough, GoDz.
Yeah, Void Dota there. That was a well-played Void game. Making up for some of the mistakes made elsewhere on the map. The Mirana game completely destroyed by the Slack, but some of the just like itemization, and I think IMG actually had their openings this game to potentially win it. So they were in this game, but they can take away, learn something. They are in Starladder as one of the qualifier teams and not expected to really make it to the playoffs.
Well, they've looked good in some of their games, but just not quite good enough. And
Yeah.
maybe the drafting a little bit questionable, execution at times a bit off. There's some things to work on here, but they have potential, and that's exciting to see for a team that we had never heard of, had never seen. I mean, you go back to the WPC Ace, the first season. That was the first time we saw like the quote-unquote Tier 2 Chinese teams really in action. And
That was bad.
HGT and was it Tongfu Wangzhou at the
Yeah,
time? They ended up going like a combined like 0-36, or maybe it was
Yeah.
like 1-35.
Their only wins was the Tongfu Wangzhou team losing to HGT.
Yeah, that's right.
Things have changed.
They've come a long way. Some of the top dogs have slipped a little bit, and then these Tier 2 teams are rising. Guys, with that said, we've got one more match headed your way. It's going to be Vici Gaming versus Lai Gaming, your final match of Starladder Season 11 China action coming up after a very quick break. We'll be back.